be. But yeah, I think we're going to be going live here, Wan. I feel like Witness, they're going to be feeling it. They're going to be firing on all cylinders. And what are the Maggots going to be able to do?
We'd have to find out here on mid as Lucas rolls out already. Just sending stickies across the point. So far, KN is going to be reloading, and this is a very, very passive Dirty Maggots game so far. As they're just sitting so far back, actually. Zams, Loki, the furthest one forwards. The stickies can rain across here. No further damage really dealt. So instead, is Pappy going in straight away, in through house. A lot of damage onto Jordy, who is going to fall. So Ixie now taken down as well. Soldiers are down on the red team as they have just let Witness walk forwards and take control of the point. Piggles, lovely surf to get out, but drops all the way down to very low HP, leaves Zams for dead. And Witness kind of walk into mid, and Maggots just kind of stare at them.
Yeah, I'll be honest, there is like, you know, the one saving grace of managing to get Piggles out alive does manage to have an Uber, but when you've got another Uber you're facing against as well, this is going to be the situation you were saying about, right? Like this idea of, you know, tanking Lucas towards the point, trying to see how much damage they can get. Uber does get used early.
Oh.
That is such a crucial pick. Dude, Tomas can go for more as well. Okay, the flash comes off just in time. That is actually so huge for the Maggots. Maybe they can find a little avenue. You can see the health isn't looking too fantastic on the side of Witness, and with the player down, maybe this is some kind of moment to do something. But even still, they're having so much difficulty trying to move towards the point. It is very slow going. The first frag seems to be going the way of Ixie, and still doing so much damage as well. Like, it feels like the Maggots, it was exactly what he said. Like, they were trying to push through, trying to get position on this flank, but they just couldn't.
Yeah, Jordy eats so much spam there, cleaned up by Ixie in the follow-up. That just nets them a kill on the side of Witness. No Jordy, no real aggression could come out, so Witness just keep control of this point. Already run down for over a minute. Nearing about halfway there. So Jordy's going to bomb in through house, and this time hit a very nice rocket, but unfortunately, no teammates there to support him, and that nets Ixie a free flank in, and he just goes for it. A complete destruction from Witness as everyone combines to kill and destroy the Maggots. Piggles is left alive, and he does have Uber, but the rest of his team is eliminated.
Yeah, no, dude, that was some meat. That was some absolute meat there from Ixie. That was really big, even not taking down Piggles. It's that kind of thing where, like, the Maggots fought so hard and they got 8 seconds off the cap time. Like, that was it. Now, we do have Witness with Uber again. They're playing a kind of semi-forward hold, at least trying to make it difficult. Are getting some good damage, and now they're backing up again. Perfectly happy. They know they can trade whenever. Dude, Zams. He's eating so much damage. This is so difficult, them trying to get literally anywhere. We do see a lot of cap time coming in, which is quite nice on the side of Maggots. Actually, Uber did get used there on both sides. In this position, not too bad. The repush does look to be a little bit on the side of Witness, but actually a moment where Dirty Maggots can be pretty happy with themselves. They seem pretty content with this hold.
Yeah, now they can sit back and wait for Witness to make a play, which they are just doing. It's still straight in onto the enemy as they do find a kill onto Lucas in return. But Pappy sacking forwards does not find any frags, so Ixie stuck in enemy houses. Still desperately goes for a play onto Piggles. Doesn't find it. They do manage to cap the point, but that's not to their favor at the moment. That's going to extend the spawn timer of both Lucas, Pappy, and Silentes there. And net Maggots control of the point once again, and they can continue running down the timer. But you have to look at that timer. It only says 50 seconds for Witness, and they can just run it back once again.
Yeah, no, this is going to be Witness once again moving towards this point. It's so important because this point actually caps quite a lot quicker than Viaduct. You know, it feels like you can kind of sneak cap so easily, really, on this map. And just even trading time at this point is a massive win on the side of Witness. Uber does get used on the side of the Maggots, and it's far better. Eventually, they do get a trade. And Witness do manage to use this, but Tomas is just all the way in. What a sick little shot there under Piggles. The cleanup on Voxy, and they have controller point. And this is now already, we're finding ourselves in a bit of a crunch time for the Dirty Maggots. Piggles up in 3 seconds. They will have time just to get their heals. You can see the rest of the team playing back. They know they need to get their heals. They need to play together. This needs to be such a solid push. Get controller point and, importantly, get frags. It's not enough just to get time off the clock. They need to do something about this Uber disadvantage, and they need to actually get some players down.
So they're moving across for the moment. It is spam being exchanged, but an early sticky trap kill from Lucas onto KN is going to set a spanner in the works here for Witness as they can start activating once again, forcing the Maggots back as the timer just runs out. It only says 4 seconds left, and there are no Maggots near. Jordy not quite finding the rocket jump means that he's going to be a bit delayed, and now the Maggots forced onto the point. Voxy eating so much damage, has to back off for the moment as the Uber is popped. on the side of Auto, and Af is taken down as well. Pickles is 80-90%, but without a demo man, you have to do so much work as the rest of the team members are cleaned up by the scouts of Witness. Just an Ubered Voxy left alive with Pickles onto the point. He's one land before, and he's going to have to do it all by himself now. It starts with a single kill onto Lucas, but it's so much damage across the rest of the Maggots, and Pickles is so low. He just barely manages to escape, but he's on his own on the point. Tomas is killing everyone, and that is 1-0 for Witness.
I'm gonna be real. That was a pretty commanding first round. Yeah, there's so much to be said for, you know, when Witness is in that advantageous position, they have that Uber advantage, and then you have no choice on the side of Dirty Maggots but to bring all your players forward towards the point because you have to cap, but then you can see Witness is just baiting them in. They bring these players all the way towards the point, and then the second they get that little bit of cap time, the second they're in that position, Witness is like, bam, we have that Uber, we are getting in, and it's so, so hard. I think exactly like you said, Juan, already you can see from this round, like, the Maggots are having so much difficulty on these kind of flank buildings, like on either side. It seems weird. If you haven't played this map too much, you know, you might kind of think that it's all about the point, it's all about that kind of position, but those houses on the side make so much of a difference. It's such a kind of, you know, decent high ground advantage. It's only a little bit of height, but it makes playing Soldier so much easier with your splash. There's so many things you can do with it, and the second you lose control or can never gain control, you're just always on the back foot.
Yeah, it's so hard, right? And the Witness members, you can see they're just on lock. I don't know if we can press tab or like show a log or something, but Lucas has like, or Tomas rather, has infinite frags at the moment. Outscoring his medic, that's good enough for me for now.
Dude.
But yeah, he's doing a lot of work. I think it's just it's so hard, right? Because you lose control of the house, and then you just see like Ixie gets off such a hard flank.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to deal with. He comes in and he just does so much damage to your team. And it's such a weird thing to analyze because the conclusion is just like, just win the 1v1. Like, I don't...
Well, okay, so, like, you say that, but, like, to me, it's those really frustrating situations. We saw a moment where, like, Geordie was like, you know, okay, I'm going to jump, like, from the kind of lower point from their side into house and see what I can see what's going on, right? He jumps up, and the second he jumps up, like, there's already a soldier and a scout, like, together, fully buffed, who just, like, basically one-shot him. And it's those situations where you're just like, dude, are they in my brain or something? Because, like, you know, you didn't even get a chance in that fight. And then the second you go down, not only do you not have control over the flank, but then, like, your team has 5 players, and you're kind of there like, well, I guess this push is scuffed then, right? It's so hard.
So, I do imagine we had a little bit of attack pause on the side of the Maggots there. Let's talk things over after that round, because I really want that for successful. And honestly, they weren't last time either. We need to see some kind of a switch up here for them to remain successful, or find any kind of success versus Witness. Already down 1 round. It's early spam here from Zams. On to the mid, but you can see the Witness aggression already peeking in through house there, and the Maggots are sitting so far back. Pickles eats 50 damage very early on, and he's sitting in a very precarious position here.
Yeah, we do see just both teams playing very, very patient, with Witness being closer towards the point. They can start that cap time. Now it has been unlocked. Now, a little bit of a flank aggression, kind of mirroring both sides. Pappy, ooh, just about, yes, combining to get that first frag here. Actually dragging the heals a lot of the way back, which means the rest of Witness can just go in. Oh my god, Ixie doing so much damage. Pickle's doing incredibly well. Man's living, but no, Pappy with the follow-up, and it's just like, the second they try and get anywhere, the second they just need to back up and regroup, they just keep getting chased down.
He went for a health pack, and a soldier went and took it right in front of his face. And
dude, I'd be fuming. I'd be fuming.
Oh no, that's really bad. I think it's also one of those where, like, yes, that's a tilter, but you have to just shake it off. You have to keep going, because now Witness control of the point, a full 100% Uber ad, because your medic died so late in that fight, and you have a massive mountain to climb now.
No, for real, it's like, yeah, dying early in the mid-fight kind of sucks, but then dying super late just means like, oh, okay, you basically like are committed to a sack wave. So here we go. We do see 1, 2, 3 players going all the way in. Very nicely done there. They get so deep, managing to get that force off. That's actually really well played. The cleanup comes in, but ultimately that's all to the good of the Dirty Maggots, because, you know, one of the things people don't always pay attention to in sack waves is not only do you need to go at the same time, but ideally you need to die at the same time, because, you know, dying off sync just kind of wastes opportunities for your team. So there we go. Maggots achieved exactly what they want to. Now they've got their own Uber. Now it's their turn to try and get through clean.
Witness doing an excellent job of sitting quite close, doing a lot of damage, trying to get this Uber out of Pickles as soon as possible to make sure they can maintain control of the point. But so far, Pickle's unwilling and unyielding, so they're going to send in a soldier in behind as it's Pappy falling early on. Uber still is yet to come out. It's just Voxy sitting on the point now, blocked by Thomas, but still is cleaned up on the flank. Now, 2 soldier picks. This is a decent opportunity for maybe the Maggots to do a little bit more, as the aggression cannot come out from Witness, but instead they're just sitting pretty on the point, spamming across. But a counter Uber from Auto now up as well. So you can see Witness rotating over and getting ready for some kind of counter aggression here. You have to wonder now for the Maggots, are you up to the task? Are you ready to take this Uber trade?
Yep, here we go. We're going to see exactly that. Thomas does get the Uber, goes all the way through, forces off the Uber of the Dirty Maggots and manages to, you know, do a little bit of peppering. No one ultimately going to be losing their life, so Ubers are now going to be equal, and this is the Witness repush. First pipe onto Voxy is going to open things up just a little bit. This isn't the be-all, end-all for the side of Dirty Maggots right now. They have lost control of the point, though, which is going to make things a lot more difficult, and Pappy's in a good position to get a lot of damage in. There can be any follow-up from the rest of the team combining onto AF, but actually, maybe a little bit of a saving grace there. They do lose control of the point, but as soon as they get their spawns, there's no reason why they can't just keep going forward, especially with Lucas going very aggressive. Beautiful little surf away, but actually might get caught out, and Auto just staying way too long there. That's one of those crucial little moments, actually. Very rare for a Witness mistake.
Yeah, this is now an opportunity here for the Maggots. Blood in the water, but they do lose their Demo Man as well, so they can't aggress as much as they perhaps like. But a massive advantage here for Pickles. You have to use this to its utmost to take time off the point. Victory against Witness comes at a cost. It is not easy, and it has to start off with edging them off of this point. Uber comes in, and what does it find? Zam's bomb so deep and finds it early, sticky in onto the enemy scout, but unfortunately the follow-up is just not there. They lose and find 3 on the side of Witness, but they're still up. Auto is just fine, and now 60% Uber as well. They can just wait for these spawners, and suddenly Uber advantage in the opposing favor.
They really can. I feel like Dirty Maggots are, you know, I'm going to be real, I feel like they're giving Witness quite a bit of respect here. Even with 3 players down on the side of Witness, they, you know, didn't want to go forward on the Maggot side. They were very, very well. Soldier does go all the way in. But a great little surf there.
Oh,
no!
KN
with the follow-up, that's huge!
KN, massive rocket there. The follow-up is beautiful onto Auto, and this is how you start to pick Witness apart. I think that the one weakness, the tiny little kink in their armor, is sometimes Auto does get caught out, and if you can target him when he plays so aggressively, you can find these advantages. Round time are now equal, as it is slightly ticking down for Witness still, but this is big advantage here for Pickles. You have to use his Uber effectively once again, but with the score equalized, Medic just spawning and an early kill onto AF, suddenly we have control and we have a bit of a game. Zam's feeling himself, maybe a bit too much, bombs forwards into nothing. Fortunately doesn't find it as the Uber is popped, still taken down, perhaps raw force. It is 1 kill onto Ixie as well, who went in behind to drag everyone away from that fight.
I think possibly a little bit of a lack of communication when Zams jumped forward there. I don't quite know what happened, but we'll be just by spawning in time. This will be, that's a really big frag. That is actually so significant. Not quite having the Uber on the side of Auto. So these players playing very, very close will just be delaying things a little bit longer. Losing Geordie is kind of going to make things rough. I'm not going to lie with you. I think ultimately on the side of Dirty Maggots, they really need to try and get a force here. Like, keep control of point as much as they can, but a force here is perfect. There we go. Uber has been used. They need to make sure not to get caught here. KM is perfectly fine. As long as Pickles is getting out and the rest of these players, that's so good. Look, only now are Witness managing to cap at 15 seconds and a huge Uber advantage. If they get any frags here, that could be huge, but it's actually Voxy.
That's such a big delay for them now. Pushing without Voxy on the flank is so much harder, as Witness now have time to really set up this forward hold and drag this Uber out as early as possible from Pickles. If they can hold on to this, they can have a counter Uber, and it is so much damage pushing through this. Uber forced out onto Zams, and he finds a beautiful little sticky onto the enemy. It's 1 singular kill onto Pappy, who has been getting caught out, but look at the timer now equally. Yeah. It's fading.
This is so crucial. 12 seconds left on the clock. We are seeing a good amount of time for the side of Dirty Maggots. Only 80% on the side of Auto. Any frags there for Dirty Maggots is good, but KN is the first to lose his life. This is going to be difficult. Health isn't looking incredible. They are trying to heal up on the side of Witness.
My God, the timer.
This is going to go right down to the wire. This is basically guaranteed to go overtime, but no. Geordie's gone down. Ixie's playing so aggressive all the way towards the point. You can see Witness going all the way forward. They get there, Uber, and it's a nuke.
It's an absolute nuke from Lucas and Pappy. Straight in onto the point. Zam's cleaned up so late as well. And in the final hours and seconds of the match, KN finds the last kill onto Thomas. But as Lucas with the last laugh, that went down to the wire. But unfortunately still, it is not enough.
Oh my god. They worked so hard on the side of Dirty Maggots. They worked so hard, and they found so many successes. Like you said, managing to focus down Auto, that was huge. But even, you know, getting these uber advantages and then taking the point for free, that makes such a difference on a map like Bagel. It buys you so much time. Maybe they're finding a way in here, but the scoreline is not reflecting that. They need to keep going. They need to keep building on these successes.
Yeah, it really has. They need to find a round winner, potentially a bit more of a dominant one than they have in the past. So now Zams actually starts off the mid by being just pelted by the enemy Witness. Once again, control of that house makes it so dangerous for their opponents. KN actually just gets destroyed there by Syl on the flank as well. So he has to back off, and that means that now we're trading. But Jordy with a bomb in, finds a kill onto Lucas. Pappy falling as well. So Jordy can get traded off, but KN has a beautiful little spam angle here onto the enemy combo. Af, though, taken down by Ixie on the flank. So it's just 3 members up. A beautiful pipe there from Zams in onto Thomas, but it's Syl with the flank, and the pop out from Pickles is fine. But can they find anything else? It is Auto with 100%. Kill onto Ixie. It's good, but there's still 2 players down for Witness. They have this Uber. What the hell can they do with it?
Well, looks like they're going to be running all the way forward. Players scattering absolutely everywhere. Actually, Lucas manages to go down. Thomas doesn't want to go too far. He's very aware this Uber's going to fade any second. And it does! And the Dirty Maggots are waiting!
They're coming in, and suddenly now a surge of revitalization for the Maggots. They come clean, and they destroy Auto. Massive advantage now. Now you can set up a forward hold and start dragging this team away from the point. Slowly take away time. You need this to be successful. You have a massive Uber advantage to work with, but Witness are not going to let them skip a beat. Instantly, Silentis is in, and instantly he's taken down. But look at the space he creates when he does this. The rest of Witness are surging forwards. Lucas wants to take more players down as Ixie with Pappy combine for more and more as they keep taking and taking and taking, and you offer them a fingernail.
Yeah, it's brutal. I mean, it is okay though. Pickles does still have the root, but the difficulty is they need to get the spawners in, and they need to go, like, immediately. You know, Witness is already 65% right now. In order to get any value out of this Uber, it basically needs to be instant. And obviously, Witness are going to be aware of this, right? They're going to be playing in a situation to try and not get caught. But you don't have a choice on the side of Dirty Maggots. So throw away this opportunity is to throw away nearly 60 seconds of time. So they're going to be aggressing all the way towards point. You can see, already taking a decent amount of damage. Any frag here would be huge, and they are getting these Witness players pretty low. They can't quite get these final frags, but Auto's now got the Uber, and it will get used. It should be a little bit better for the side of Voxy and Pickles. So there we go. Going to be peeking a little bit. The juggle towards Auto isn't quite going to be enough just yet. That's okay, though. All the fight still towards point.
Yeah, it's Lucas defending the tower there as now counter aggression does come in, so it is the Maggots finding that cap, but Pappy with a lot of damage there. But Zams finds a pipe onto Thomas, instantly traded for it, however, and that means that Ixie can just stand on this nipple and take control once again. Witness are running away a little bit with the round. It feels like they're finding equal kills. But that kill onto the demo man of Zams, so much pressure relieved on the side of Witness, but Jordy with a lot of pressure there in onto the enemy soldier, does get bowed in the air, but Pappy's still taken down by Boxy. Means that suddenly it's Lucas left alone with a combo that just gets bombed by Soldier. It's a decent pipe, but it's not enough here. Slight advantage for Auto in all of this. Everything be said, Zams is now back, and the fight will continue.
Yeah, it is really going to continue. Like you said, this tiny little advantage. If they knew it, if they're aware of it, they could surge straight forward. I don't think Witness are fully aware, because Pickles does now have his own. Look at the health on the side of Witness. This is so scary. Even Silenta's getting that frag. It's such a scary position. That's how is Witness getting 2 there and Maggots are getting none?
That's insane. I cannot believe they live there. Everyone's so low. They're all stood around the point as well. But now Syl has this insane monster flank in behind onto the enemy and doesn't even need to bomb, because look at the health bars on the enemy team. Af, smartly though, takes him down. So Christ is kind of averted for now for the Maggots, but you just have to look at the timer now. You're down already a minute. The Uber comes out and we're dropping Voxy. This is a disaster that no one's here for it. And suddenly you just have to use the entire Uber, failing to kill the enemy scout, as Ixie can just walk out for free there.
Oh, mate, that is tragic. It's so difficult now. You have 40 seconds left on the clock. Witness has their Uber. They're getting the first frag here. Only now does Auto finally use Uber, and they're getting so many frags for it. So you know Dirty Maggots have no choice. They have to back all the way up. They have to get all their spawners. It's going to come down to like a 15-second push all the way towards point. It is so difficult.
They don't have time to build Uber either.
No,
they
God,
have
no.
a singular shot at this, and they have to do it completely dry, with nothing to help them, and hold on for just about 2 minutes. Stickies from Lucas shut down the idea immediately, and you cannot compete with the best demo man in Europe. Syl is in to follow him up as well, and you might get that singular kill into Lucas, but what about everybody else? You're not in a cage with him alone, you're in the cage. Yeah, I fucked up that completely, but it's fine. I don't know. It's 3-0 for Witness. Everything's as is expected, and we're all happy.
It's going to be a hard one, but I mean, I guess we don't have to wait too much longer to find out because we're going live here on Gollywash. Witness versus Dirty Maggots.
Dirty Maggots have to find some kind of response to Witness. You can see immediately
Slay,
Zams
slay.
sticking up Silentes and reading him like a book. That is the momentum you need if you are the Maggots. And KN in on reverse with the play and just finds the kill onto Lucas. There's a follow-up from Jordy onto Auto, and it is beautiful. And suddenly now, advantage Maggots. It is one Pappy and one Tomas hiding. Can they find anything at all? Tomas in lower is gonna get taken down. There's one soldier hiding up above. Pappy is gonna drop down on his opponent. They have not spotted him, but the timing is not there. Pickles is so far back, and now a massive, massive advantage here for the Maggots.
This is what you need. On the side of Dirty Maggots, this is what you need. Like, that is such a sick read. That is just like a no, we know exactly what you're going to do. That is such a way to get into this game. They just need to convert this, and that is way easier said than done. A conversion of this last would put them in such a fantastic position, but they've got a lot to deal with. There is going to be a gun. There is going to be a pyro. It's so difficult getting through the shutter, but if anyone could do it, maybe they can give it a go. Zams walking all the way through, just about managing to get this gun. Decent damage, not combining onto any other of these players just yet. Locking a lot of people in spawn, getting a lot of cap time. So much, and they just take this first round away.
Message sent. That is the first time in a very long time that the Maggots have taken a round, and they do it in style. They read the mid completely, and they do not flounder the advantage. They just send it in clean onto the point, and there we go. 1-0 up. That's all it takes. Why didn't they just do that before?
Just do that 5 times, idiot. Dude, it's so easy. But, like, no, it is exactly what you say. They had such a plan for the mid, but also getting that conversion, like having a plan for how you want to do that last push. This wasn't this messy nonsense we've been seeing so much this tournament. This is cool, calm, collected. And we're going into the second mid. Does Witness have an answer? Maybe they do.
It's an early kill there onto KN from Pappy, and that's going to force Jordy to play all the way back, and the Maggots want nothing further to do with the middle fight. So they're going to back off into second. Zams is going to sticky up lower here. Make sure no one goes in and does any funny business. It's still going to walk over towards the shutter area, just trying to bait it out. You can see Zams already watching it, but the aggression now from Witness coming through Big Door, and they have even Ubers, but I think they might want to take a trade here.
Quite possibly, yeah. I feel like there's something to be said for how Dirty Maggots played that mid. They know they're round up right now. They know, you know, the ball is in their court. First frag onto Pappy. That's really nice. But it comes at the cost of Uber being used.
Yeah, Pappy just straight in through choke there, finds the force onto Piggles, and suddenly that advantage that they did, or rather the lack of advantage that Witness had, is just completely out of the water. Witness, big advantage, can send this through choke, and there is no Maggots position at all. They are back on second, back on last.
That... Juan, like, correct me if I'm wrong, that seemed a little bit passive, didn't it? That seemed like, you know, obviously you don't want to get caught by the Uber, but to let them take second for free without any real, you know, answer to anything. Like, they're only now 65%. Like, Uber is coming all the way in. Zams on the double dunks. You gotta love it. It does deny them a decent bit, but that means, importantly, he's not playing towards point. So once those stickies get dead, that is the end of it. So first player does go down, very calm towards point. Ixie getting quite a lot of cap time. This is surely just gonna fall away from them.
Oh my god, Ixie does so much cap time, but unfortunately, it's not quite coalescing quite yet, as Pickles just barely manages to grind out an Uber, but there is no one there. No one to fight this Uber, so Syl can bomb in the post-Uber. The rockets from Pappy are beautiful, and Zams is taken down. No one left on the Maggots to hold, and Witness respond right back. It has only been 4 minutes, but so much action has happened already.
God, I hope the game continues like this. That is such a resounding answer on the side of Witness. That is just powerful, right? The fact that, you know, I feel like the story of that round was Dirty Maggots giving Witness so much respect. They lost one pick on mid, and they were like, oh, maybe we back up. And then they got forced, and like, oh, maybe we back up again. But if you give Witness an inch, they will take a mile. You need to snap yourselves out of that.
you have to, of course, you have to play with the utmost respect, but at the same time, you need to counter-aggress. You need to try and take the fights, because otherwise you just lose. It's KN, though, bombing in. Early kill onto Lucas, is going to pay for it with his life. So no red soldiers left on the map for the moment as Zams aggresses so far forward. And unfortunately, there are no kills to be found on the opposing team. So just 2 scouts up left to run Pickles out of second, because they really can't take this fight. But Pickles misses the surf because Ixie is pelting him and Thomas is in behind, cleans up 2, and they are just out.
Dude, that is brutal on the side of Thomas. It is so difficult when you have to make that jump. Like, the tiniest bit of damage will just slam you onto the floor, and as soon as you hit that floor, that's basically it. Af does get cleaned up right at the end here, so not even any annoying little rat plays. And now we're finding ourselves with a, like, uber disadvantage, player disadvantage. They can't take any position on second. They can't get any much kind of setup. Like, they have enough time for Voxy to get the sentry up. Like, great. Af will have just about time to spawn on Pyro, but you are facing down the barrel that is Witness.
This is a Witness classic as well. They're taking position in lobby. They love to just go in immediately before the setup really can take fully place. So Sentry Gun is going to get shut down, and the Pyro is going to get swapped for a heavy as well in spawn. Once that gun is taken down, Entry swaps over, and now Voxy sitting on heavy, but Zams on the double donks on lower is going to have to find a lot of work as the pressure is coming out, but the Demo Man is just going to fall. It's Ixie in through lower with Pappy, combining for 2, as 1 soldier, 1 Pyro has to do a lot to hold on. They find the first kill, but the health bars aren't quite there. It's still very scary if you are the Maggots, because Witness are poking you from every single angle, and it is Lucas with the brunt of it. So much damage dealt across. Pickles has to pop that.
Oh, that's so sad. Okay, I feel like almost any other team in Europe right now would not have stayed that aggressive for that long. Like, Lucas playing towards that, like, river position, even Auto towards a shutter. Like, they were being that aggressive that entire time, even after literally having failed the push. Getting that force off just means that, like, guess what? They can now just get their Uber and go for it again. Very, very few teams would have stayed that aggressive for that long. And I think this is what puts Witness head and shoulders above the rest.
So now they have an uber charge advantage that is also a bit head and shoulders above their opponent. Sentry Gun Pyro up as well, but it is just a level 2. Much easier to spam down, and also Zams taking a decent chunk of damage. Before the push even starts, he's already down to 40 HP. So now the Lucas Sentry Gun destruction takes place, and there's this Demo Man hiding in lower, but he's 40 HP, and it is so hard for him to hold on. Scout Surge forward with Syl and Pappy in retreat as well, and that is another round for Witness, completely pressuring the Maggots out of the map.
That is so, so rough. You could see all of the focus on the side of Dirty Maggots was like, just live that little bit longer. We can get the Uber, we can be okay. But when your Uber's on the high ground and they're playing on point, like, brother, there ain't a lot you can do. And I feel like Witness, like, they're aware of it. There's not a lot that happens in this game that they're not aware of one way or another. And I think that, yeah, like, they just kind of, they knew what they need to do and they just did it.
So now early aggression, this time onto Zams, as the soldier bombs in, doesn't quite find him, and actually Jordy finds himself a very aggressive position in mid, takes down the enemy Demo Man. Pappy is a singular point of health, and so he is not really able to join the fight at all, and you can see Witness are running for the hills. Pappy has managed to find himself a couple of packs, and so now he can sit in behind, be a bit of a nuisance. There's one Jordy coming up as a forward spawn right about now. But can Pappy provide the distraction that his team needs? This is the Maggots looking to push forwards, take position on second, but that is Pappy in a 1v1 at 6, and it looks like maybe he's gonna win it out against Jordy. He's so low, both of them. God. But okay. Foxy's there to clean it up. So now Maggots pick advantage. Even Ubers, they have potential, maybe not to go for a push, but they can for sure stack this in.
Yeah. And I think, you know, they basically need to, for the sake of the momentum of the game, you don't want to stop kind of actually going for things. You need to keep this game moving, keep things happening, keep Witness kind of guessing what's going on. We do see 2 aggressive players towards water, actually managing to get the gun down. This is really good. A lot of damage already towards Auto. KN playing all the way towards point. The damage is really, really good. There's still a lot they can do here. Oh. Dude, look at these MG Mike rockets all the way underneath. They're not combining onto a frag yet. They really want it, but they just can't quite find an in.
It's so hard on this map. The Witness hold is so strong, but there's no gun up for the moment. Not the end of the world as Ixie now back on the engineer, but it's going to take some time to build up that gun. In the meantime, Boxy just looking to pressure the point. You can see Syl has one job, and it is sitting up on this high ground and spamming down on the opponent. Sticky's up from Lucas as well as the soldiers ushered forwards onto the point. The Stickies are dead, and KN is taken down already by the level 1 of Ixie. So, one player sacked is all for now. Thomas can just sit back now with this Pyro. This sentry gun is so hard to take down. And there we go. Boxy's going to lose their life as well. So, well, all said and done. This is not going to be Witness Game and going for a big push out because that would be a little bit psychopathic, I will be honest with you. But opens up opportunities. Maybe Voxy, Sniper, Spy, some kind of off-class. You know, we talked about the Pyro plays in previous games. I can't see it happening just yet, but always there as an option. Bachi going to be coming up cookie cutter. So maybe they're happy enough with what we're, with the kind of pressure cooker approach they were doing. Maybe they're happy enough that if they can get this gun down, they can go for some kind of play, you know, because there are opportunities here. They have to find something, though. This is where sort of the pace of the map has slowed down enough to where we start having to look at this 3-minute round timer. Jordy wants none of it as he just bombs in onto Auto, drops down to just 20 HP, hiding in the dispenser, but the Rockets just barely missed their mark. And Auto just barely staying alive.
Okay, I'm going to say, though, that is great, though, right? That is actually, like, an avenue was open there. Even going down to 20 HP, oh, yeah, sure, you didn't get the force, right? You didn't get the drop, whatever. But they know that, okay, that actually nearly worked. They're being aggressive. They're taking action. And at some point, they know if they keep doing that, if they keep the pressure going, something will happen. And that's, like, against a Pyro, Sentry, and, like, Auto sitting in the dispenser. So I like this. I like this level of kind of activeness from Dirty Maggots.
So now Jordy on balcony with the spam. Continue to monitor where the opponents are sitting. There's a soldier hiding right around the corner. Jordy's just going to go for the bomb in onto Auto once again, retreating to the safety of his dispenser. Not going to take a single point of damage. So cleaned up now. It's a double soldier sack again, failing for the Maggots. And you say that they could just keep going this, but they only have 2 minutes left now. Gonna have to start seeing something a bit more successful. You can see Tomas instantly walking back into spawn, going on to Spy, just making sure no one's sniping.
Yeah, I feel like it's that kind of like a low-key diligence that, you know, people don't always realize. They don't always kind of respect just how important it is to just keep doing that, like, okay, I'm going to check for off-classes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Like, those jobs that you should do, but in games that are important, in games that matter, you know, you can sometimes just forget this.
So that's an early sticky kill from Lucas rather onto KN. This time not getting anywhere near Auto. Still just going to sit back, and it looks like through both of these soldier picks, Witness have just been unwilling to go for any kind of push out. So I think now it's a scout and a soldier, perhaps maybe even on the pain train, to look to just force the cap. So now you can force the enemy onto the point instead. The Pyro is sitting there, but doing a decent job. Reflect kill onto Jordy already, forcing back the Demo Man. Now just 50 seconds. I think at some point we are nearing just Jordy has to respawn, come back up, and eventually I think you kind of just have to go for the trade and hope for the best.
Yeah, pretty much. It's one of those situations where if you go for the trade, what's all important is taking down that gun and just trying to keep your players alive in some kind of position. Maybe you can then get in through Bauk or something like that. Like, it is so important to not lose players to random nonsense, right? It's that kind of thing where, like, you Uber and then your flank needs to just, like, stand still a little bit. Spam a little bit, sure, but just don't try and do everything at once.
So you can see Maggots now setting up for one final play before we go back onto mid. 2 players in under, and I think we're going to see an Uber pop in alongside it. Already popped by Pickles as Aff and Syl both taken down. It's just time onto the cap. And Witness with their pants down are set to 2-2, and Maggots from nothing find a round. I cannot believe that worked.
That is insane. I thought there was no way Witness didn't know that there was 2 under. And if there were 2 under, why would they chase them into lobby, is my question, Wan. That is... What?
I'm surprised there's no stickies on the point. Like, somehow there's just no damage dealt. It had to be a ×4, which means that at least KN also on the pain train. I love that play.
Oh,
shout out to Siegel, obviously, right? But now back on middle, it's early aggression onto Lucas, forced back into an own elbow. That means that there's so much more space here for the Maggots to take. It's a beautiful rocket from Jordy onto Ixie, followed up by KN with another onto Tomas. And Witness is stuffed out of the middle. Lucas looks to push forward, can't press the mark, and it is everyone on Witness falling. Just a single Celentes is up on his own second. And he has a chance to set up a play from up top, but instead he's going to run back to last. And Maggots now driving seat.
dude, this
They
is
can
it.
get advantage again.
This is their moment. They should absolutely capitalize off it. That's such a huge mid. It's not only that first crucial rock on the scout, but I didn't see what it was, but whatever juggled Lucas forward was absolutely perfect. That's just bringing them right into your arms, and now they have like a full Uber advantage. They've got all their players, they're healthy, they are ready to go. Even the last hold isn't fully set up for the side of Witness, so it is go time, baby. We need to get forward. If they get this round on the board, we are going to be looking for a hell of a game.
So Uber popped in straight onto Zams, and the sentry gun needs to be eliminated immediately, as it is now taken down. The Pyro sits in spawn and eats a lot of damage, actually, just barely not dying, as now it's a lot of cap time onto the point. Jordy is playing around it, but the Pyro on the high ground is immediately taken down, as Af and Boxy are cleaning up
It's
Witness.
good.
Lucas is stuck on the point, and he's just eliminated Maggots now. Breath of relief, sigh of relief, and a chance at life.
Oh, Dirty Maggots are in it. They are finding momentum. That was really, really well played there. Like you say, the beginning part of the Uber didn't get a lot done, but that's fine because they had time. They knew with Auto dying as he did, it was quite a while before they were going to be getting the Uber, so they could afford to take this position on the top right-hand side, get these players spammed down. And then the second Witness had to drop down onto the point, it was just pure death and destruction. Lucas, he wants to answer back. He wants to go aggressive. This right-hand side, he wants his.
Yeah, and so the counter jumps do come in straight away from the Maggots. It's an early kill, though, but not onto Lucas. Instead, is Jordy taken down, and that is the Maggots immediately canceling their own mid. But Zams is caught out, and now without a demo, the Maggots are in trouble, and you can see them immediately. They cannot fight second. They are running all the way back to their last. Keep Pickles alive, and at least have the Uber. They have a round advantage, but it can slip so quickly when you're playing against Witness.
Yeah, and the thing is, playing against Witness, you could see in that situation, there was, you know, a little bit of aggression, okay, right, all good, but it was, it was the counter jumps, it was the soldier play, which was so important.
Dude, Witness love this play. They love, before you have any chance to set up anything on last, you can see how quickly Lucas is in and spamming down that gun. It doesn't even get built. They know you're on last, and they will just press the issue so hard. And so now Ixie is under the point, but early kill onto Pappy is going to spell the end of the aggression for now.
Yeah, that's a good little start to things. Nice little shot. I feel like, you know, when you do those like immediate shots to kill the sticky, which is like right next to you, I feel like that's always like a tiny little thing, right? Tiny little thing, but at the same time, it's like, it feels good.
I play Kovacs.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So now Jordy's going to bomb up here on balcony. Just to dissuade any further aggression. It's a real lot of damage, actually, onto Thomas there in main. Doesn't quite find the frag. Will dissuade further aggression for now. I wonder now Witness, right? They have to find an answer to this hold. Pyro is up on the side of Af, but what can it really do? It's KN holding onto the point, sees one scout, but he's actually taking a lot of damage already. Ixie just pressuring the point, and it's a kill onto Zams before the fight even breaks out. Now, Lucas finds the other kill onto the gun, onto the dispenser, and suddenly Witness are pressuring, squeezing water from Stone here on this hold, forcing the Uber out from nothing. Soldier's still in water, but Auto's 100% in river.
Dude, I'm going to say it again. It's this same thing of like, it's what makes TF2 so interesting as a game. It's the fact that there's so many things you can be doing at the same time. Witness are there and they'll be like, oh, you know, we're going to be like doing some point play. Actually, no, we're not doing point play. We're going to be trying to spam down, get some of these players on the point. Actually, it doesn't matter. We're going for that like force. It's the fact that you're doing all three at once and you are like dynamically changing what you're doing based on what's going to have the most success. And then the second you find success with one, you back up with everything else and you go, okay, Uber advantage is in.
So now, Uber advantage being used straight onto Thomas. Sentry gun taken down immediately, as is at 80% for Pickles. It's an early kill there from Zams onto Thomas with the sticky bombs, as Uber is lost. But now Silentis pressuring in from lower. So much damage as Pappy and Sil combine here onto the point. Counter Uber does come out from Pickles, and it is a lot of low health on the blue team. And they're all stuck in lower as well, so Boxy can come in, clean up Ixie, but there's still two soldiers in water. Pappy taken down, though, as both soldiers falling to Af on the Pyro. But Lucas still finds that kill onto Jordy, and that makes re-aggression hard. He is playing this so aggressively.
Okay, a moment just to breathe. This is 20% advantage in the hands of Witness. I mean, if Dirty Maggots build hard, they can take this pretty close, but you've got to be aware that even building hard is a bit of a risk in itself, considering how aggressive Witness does tend to get. So, Let's see exactly what's going to happen. It is still going to be about 20%, so Winners can be going. They're going all the way through the shutter. You can see trying to deny things as much as physically possible. The gun just does go down now. The Pyro does get cleaned up as well, but Uber now in the hands of Piggles. They can use that at any point, and there we go. Uber does get used. Witness now should be backing all the way. Any frags here, even trading with Geordie, that's really not that bad for Witness. They're playing this high ground, this top right position. This can be so good.
The Heavy, the last defense here on last, as the Stickies are still off on point, but taken down is Af by the Stickies of Lucas. So now with Zams falling, it is just Voxy left to hold on his own. A lot of damage is dealt, and it is just not enough as Witness tires right back up. The pressure is insane.
Yeah, it is. It is so important, that kind of position of forcing people down to the point. It's like that point play, which forces them onto the point, at which time you have your players on the high ground who can just spam down and absolutely nuke them. It's like recognizing that situation is so crucial. But it's difficult on the side of Dirty Maggots. You don't have much of a choice. It's like all the issues are before then. So here we go, 3-3. We've equalized things up again. Lucas once again going aggressive, walking all the way through Stickies, going actually really weak.
Ooh. This is a much worse start here for Witness, as it is a Geordie bomb in onto Auto, but how much damage do they take in return? Maggots are pelted by Lucas as Pappy surges forwards and looks to find everyone. Ixie is on a mission to clean up the remaining combo here. It is just Af and his medic alive, and so many Witness members there to clean them up. And it does not matter if you take down Auto, because the rest of Witness are just on it.
Yeah, they are on it, 100%. It's, you know, I think we've said a few times before, one of the things with Witness is, you know, if one person is doing something, the rest of the team is aware and they will react accordingly. So Ixie on that little bit of a chase, right? Yeah, he's not going to win that entire fight by himself. Doesn't matter, because the rest of the team will be there, ready to kind of follow up with him. KN goes good for the deep bomb. Not really connecting though. Good little bit of damage. Actually, the full damage from Auto. A little bit scary, but ultimately it's going to come to nothing. And after losing Voxy with a...
This is really scary
God,
now.
that is really scary.
They're down 2, and Witness have an advantage to boot. Pickle's not healing anyone for the moment, so this advantage kind of ballooning as Witness now, big advantage. They love these immediate pushes, and they smell blood in the water. Voxy's still not up, and you have to be so careful, because Uber now comes in straight away onto Lucas and onto Thomas. Juggle just a little bit, and it is a kill onto Pappy. The sentry gun not quite taken down, maybe perhaps as fast as you would want it, but it is still enough of an angle for Witness to come through. Damage onto the soldier as well as Thomas just surges forward. So many frags from Lucas as he runs this game on his own. And once again, Witness come out on top.
Oh my God. What a game. What a game. Yeah, you can see they just got picked apart on the second and on last as well. There was just the classic thing of, like, you know, you start dragging people towards the point. The second you can get a scout over the point and deal with the defending demo, it's already looking so good. Then physically, they need bodies on the point, and Lucas's stick is absolutely just cleaned up. That is absolutely enormous damage. Lucas once again going towards his right-hand side, playing aggressive, getting fantastic early damage from Zams. He actually can't get in here at all. This is already such a difficult mid for side of Dirty Maggots. Geordie just try and recreate the magic from last mid, but it's not going to happen. It's going to be so difficult.
Lucas is taken down though, and now Witness are stuck in their own big door. They don't have the height advantage, so they need to wait for the soldiers to bomb up. But so much punishment instantly rains down on Pappy. The Maggots just not in position on mid anymore. They choose to give it up. So even Ubers are acquired here, but it's not the advantageous position you want. It's 7.5 minutes left, and you're down a round. Witness can be more than content to just sit back and let you lose slowly. But even Ubers means that Pappy's going to go for a speed shot in onto the point. Doesn't quite find much of anything onto Piggles. That's a free pick. I feel like the Maggots, they're going to want to spring on this.
Yeah, and they should. They 100% should. They're 7 minutes in.
Geordie!
Oh, what a great little bomb. Completely unaware on the side of Witness Gaming. That is the easiest force of Geordie's life, and that is fantastic for them.
This is a massive advantage now for the Maggots. You can see Witness already sitting back. But Gully Wash Middle is one of those points that you have to be a bit careful of when you push out. So Lucas going to set up Stickies here. There's a lot of room, potential for Witness to cause havoc onto the enemy lines. You can see the damage that you take trying to push forwards, and actually an early kill onto KN as now Sams is coming through but is not finding the pipes. So all on Af to find kills onto the enemy Witness members. That is Silenta's taken down as well. But in the post super, Lucas finds Piggles, Pappy finds Voxy, and it is a very low health Af on the point. Just Sam's left alive as the bomb comes in trying to salvage onto Auto and doesn't quite find the rockets as Geordie. So now Auto's left alive. Zams is that uber advantage push. Watches his team crumble around him. Just KN alive.
Okay. If you're on the side of Dirty Maggots right now, this is do or die. This is basically an entire Uber disadvantage. They're going to have so much difficulty setting up on last. They're just only now getting Zams. If Witness just go immediately, I don't know what the Maggots are going to do.
Yeah, the Uber just comes straight in onto Lucas. Sentry gun now shot down. We are playing at match point here as the cap is already coming out, and there's a lot of damage dealt by Lucas, who just sends everything forwards. Zam's taken down immediately by Thomas, who rushes forwards as the Heavy does a lot of damage, but it is so very low on either side as Pappy is playing in through lower. There is Pickles up alive and healing his Heavy, and Lucas has to do it all himself. Once again, it is Silentis in water finding the kill, traded by Boxy, but Pappy can now combine with the rest of his team, but taken down by this Heavy who stands stalwart. Until Lucas takes him out, he is still alive. I cannot believe he did so much damage, but the Maggots are just barely holding on. A chance at life, once again, 100% advantage, but they have to make it work. There's a spy up on last.
They know. That is such a good little
Oh, no,
don't do it like this. He decloaks on point, he's getting the cap, no one's there! No one can do anything, they're taunt!
Even he shot him, and then he left.
They knew, he saw, he knew!
They shot him and he and then he decided to leave. He was like, no. Like,
you can't even blame lag, dude, you're on LAN!
He shot him, and then he left. Just ran out.
One-legged squat.
Just ran away. He was spamming secret, and he was like,
yeah, you're right. You're good. Well, these things happen. These things happen.
Spamming. He was spamming. He had him dead to rights. He was like, it's a very nice heads-up spy play from Thomas, I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Very good spy timing. But he just left.
I don't know what to say, buddy.
That's so deflating.
Yeah.
After everything we went through on that map, it was so close for so long. To have it just end?
Yeah.
Why a misplay like that?
It's
so
brutal.
weird, right? Because you see the length that this team has to go through to try and get the win versus Witness. They start off so hot. They read them like a book. They knew exactly what they were going to do.